If you travel to the south side of the United Kingdom, in Southampton, you'll be greeted to a railway, and on that railway live 6 engines in their own shed. Their names are Maria, Bobby, Heartbeat, Rem and Shira, and Ray. Now that you met the engines, let me tell you what sort of jobs they do. Ray takes passenger trains as well as goods trains. Rem and Shira can also pull goods trains and passenger trains, and sometimes they would shunt trucks and coaches in the yards, putting them in their sidings or getting the trains ready for the other engines. Heartbeat takes the big express, and when he's not pulling the express, he sometimes would take the heaviest goods trains. Bobby shunts trucks in the yards, but he's not just a shunting diesel, he is also a maintenance diesel. He takes workmen up and down the lines with his faithful blue coach, Skyla. And when there's a fallen lamppost or tree or anything wrong with the tracks, Bobby will always be there to bring the workmen so they can start fixing it all up. And finally, Maria. She has her own branch line, and she also has her own 3 coaches. The one behind Maria is named Lily, and the one in the middle is Katie, and the one at the back is Susanna. All 3 coaches are always happy to be working with Maria. Sometimes, when Maria is working on her branch line, she would see a low red traction engine at work. The low red traction engine is named Sam, and he is very good friends with Maria. And when they see each other, they would always whistle to say hi. Sometimes, when Maria isn't working on her branch line or doing any sort of job, she would chuff around the railway asking her friends if they need any help. Sometimes they would say yes, and sometimes they would say no. And when the engines get asked by Maria if they need any help, they would always smile because they know that Maria is trying to be really useful and be a good friend. One day, Bobby and Maria were shunting trucks in the yard when they decided to have a little break. I saw Ray this morning. He had a new coat of paint. His red paint just sparkled in the sun. He looked like a new engine. Ha ha. That's what engines look like after they get a new coat of paint sometimes. You know, I haven't had a new coat of paint for a very long time now. I think it's been about a year since I last been repainted. Well, I think it's gonna be a few more years before you can get repainted. Why is that? Because you're not as useful as me and the others. What are you talking about, Bobby? Well, engines get a new coat of paint after they've been really useful. I have been really useful. Not exactly. You mostly work on your branch line, and when you're not, you go around the railway looking for more jobs to do. That's not being really useful if you ask me. Well, sometimes I don't get as many jobs as you and the others do, so I can't help it. Haha, I know. But maybe one day, when you actually help someone out, you might get a new coat of paint. Like after you help an engine back on the rails. You see the breakdown train over there? Yeah? Well, you're never gonna use it because you're not gonna be helping any engine with the crane. I will one day sooner or later, when there's no other engines around. Ha ha ha. Maybe, Maria. Maybe. Anyways, let's get back to work. I have a very heavy goods train to take later, and I mustn't be late. Really useful engines are never late. Huh. Stupid Bobby. What does he know? I bet he's never used the breakdown train before. Later, as Maria was resting in the yards, she suddenly heard a loud siren. What's going on? Then the signalman came running out. Bobby has had an accident. He has come off the rails and he's laying on his side. What? Oh no! Maria, please take the breakdown train and help Bobby back on the rails. Oh, okay. Bobby was in a huge mess. He was on his side and very upset. Some of the trucks have also came off the rails and they were on the road, causing some traffic. Maria soon arrived at the scene of disaster. Bobby, are you okay? Not really, but I'll be much happier if you get me back on the rails. Don't worry, we'll have you back on the tracks as soon as possible. But we must clear up the wreckage first. Okay, if you say so. Soon Maria and the workmen got to work cleaning up the mess by putting the trucks back on the tracks. Shira was also there. She was helping by taking the trucks away. Once the workmen had gotten change all over the orange truck, the crane lifted the orange truck off the road and onto a flatbed. The cars that were waiting were now able to drive through. Once Maria took the orange truck away and came back, it was now Bobby's turn to be put back on the tracks. When Bobby was back on the rails, he tried to move, but he couldn't. So Shira was called to take Bobby to the repair yards. Once all the workmen had gone into their coach, Maria went back to the yards. Everything will be all right, Bobby. The workmen here will get you all fixed up in no time. I know, and thank you for getting me here, Shira. It was no problem at all. See you when you get back. Bye, Shira. Four days later, when Bobby came home, he spoke to Maria. Hey, Maria? Yes, Bobby? I just want to say thank you so much for helping me back on the tracks. I don't know why you barred to help after I was being so rude to you. Aw, that's alright, Bobby. That's what friends are for. They're always there to help you out, especially when you're in a serious situation. Haha, that's true. Say, you deserve a new coat of paint after you helped me. Oh, but I did get a new coat of paint. Oh, you did? Yeah. Once I got back to the yards after helping you, Mr. Wilbert decided to give me a new coat of paint as a reward. Well, I'll be. Ha ha ha. I gotta say, Maria, your new coat of paint looks marvelous. Thanks, Bobby. Soon, all the engines went happily to sleep.